Alright, so now it is Wednesday, the 4th of December, 2024. And we ate yesterday at lunchtime. Was the only meal we had. We had a 1 meal a day, what they call an OMAD. And we had that brisket.
Hello. Please step on the scale.
Sandwich that Arby's has. So had that in the French fries and a diet soda.
Your weight is 322.8 pounds.
So yesterday it was 326.2, meaning we've lost a few more pounds since yesterday. So we'll take that victory, and I'll cut you back on once we get ready to start this day. Started on Saturday, November 30th, and wow, I can't believe we've lost over 10 pounds. Hitting around 12 pounds almost of weight loss since Saturday. But this is how intermittent fasting works if you do it right, or if you do it calorie conscious, or through the use of calories. You don't have to limit yourself to some kind of specifics, such as all meat, all vegetables, and you also don't have to worry about the no bread thing either, because hey, they had this stuff figured out a long time ago. It's just up to us whether we want to use what is out there and is available for us to use in order to drop the pounds or not. Or you could follow some kind of cult-like mentality and follow some kind of specific diet and convince yourself that, hey, this is the way to go. And at some point when you mess up, like I've seen 100 million times on some of these channels, oh, I'm not going to do it again. This was just a one-time thing. Nah, that's an everyday thing for me, because I am done with those type of followings and those behaviors. Now, I understand if someone has a health condition and they have to avoid certain kinds of food because of reasons that would impact their health. I'm not talking about those folks. I'm talking about the folks who just need to lose weight and follow into a pattern just because it's the popular thing to do. I ain't with that. I done seen it too many times in my lifetime. I'm a Gen Xer. It's getting to where we are the older generation now, and we're supposed to be the influencers and leaders of we're supposed to be the wise ones. I smartened up a long time ago on these specifics. Yeah, y'all remember Atkins? That was a lot like carnivore and keto and ketovore and all that stuff packed into one diet. A lot like it. This all seems familiar to me, is what I'm saying. Vegetarian, what happened to that term? Vegetarian used to be all there was when it come to eating a diet that consisted of nothing but vegetables. People try to throw in these new fancy these terminologies and stuff, and they're like, oh, this is new. This isn't nothing like the old thing. I don't know about that. It seems awful familiar to me. Alright, I'm done. I'm done. We'll talk to you in a bit. One time, someone on the carb diet went and lost a bunch of weight and stuff like that. And I've been there. I've been there because I've been on these carb diets
in the past. So I can relate to, going on one, having some very successful weight loss, by the way. I'm not going to deny the fact that you can, be pretty successful in it. The problem with it is once you stop, or if you stop, and most people do, that I see, except for the ones, who are focusing on the calories along with it, they're basically no different than I am, even though, you can call it low carb or keto or whatever. If they're focused on calories, then that is where their success comes from, 90% of it. I just ain't afraid to say it out loud. I ain't talking about zero carb stuff. I'm talking about with the allowance of some carbs. So then people get their body used to that whole carbohydrate, being without it thing, and they lose a lot of weight. And then you go off of it for a little while for whatever reason, because, a lot of us, fail or falter when it comes to diets, and I'm no exception to that. I know that. But then, especially if you do it as a couple, you try to come back to it. One of you is always a little more willing to jump right back on it than the other person, in most experiences of what I have seen. So one may sneak and do something like, let's just say, it's the week of Thanksgiving. You sneak off to the Chinese food buffet. You get food in there and you're thinking, I'm good. I can just stick with the foods that are not, fried or anything, just the healthier side of foods that are in there. Even though it's not completely keto, 100% it is not keto in a Chinese restaurant, just so you know. No low carbon going on in there. And then, and this is just an example. I mean, it could be any restaurant, though. It could be, I saw another person, do it with Burger King or Wendy's or one of them restaurants, got a burger of some kind, faltered, for reasons, and it happens. But then they have these weight standstills and these stalls behind it, even though, it's been a few days and they've done this and they're back on track for 3 and 4 days at a time, but the weight, the weight gain that they got off of that may be sticking around a little longer than they wanted to, and their diet may not be working it back in. That could be a lot of things, your body may be just rejecting going back into that. Yeah, I mean, that's, and plus, you're not tracking your calories, maybe not tracking your calories, and you're thinking, I'm doing low carb and keto, so I'm in good shape. Why am I still stuck at this weight gain that I had for just slipping up one day? Well, when you're counting calories like me, and you're doing the zigzag pattern like I do, you don't have that problem. I've lost 12 pounds since Saturday. I've lost a lot of weight since Saturday. I have been going on the lower end of the calorie scale than I should be, because I got 2,000 a day. That equals how many per week? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14,000 calories a week. I am under where I need to be for the week, for sure. So I need to go, put in the extra calorie amounts today. So this is what I've always said along in my channel in the beginning, what I always called a day of celebration. So to prove my point, today I'm going to have a Chinese buffet because I can, and I'm going to eat my fill while I'm there. It is 12:31 p.m., just after lunchtime. So this is a good time of day to really go fill up. And this is the part I like about the diet the most. When you're zigzag calorie cycling, this is the day we're going to do a heck of a zag. We're not worried about the calories that we take in from this Chinese adventure. We're just worried about, you know, can we get back on track tomorrow with a low-calorie day? So, yeah, zigzag calorie cycling. I love it. You're about to find out why. All right, so here we are at the China store. Don't get scared now. All right, so as you can see here, this is my first plate. And I got it filled up with rice and some mushrooms and some chicken. I think that was what they call lemon chicken there. And also these spare ribs they have on the stick. Big fan of those spare ribs. I always got to get some of those when they're in there. Although I think these ones were made out of chicken this time. Sometimes they're pork, but I think these were chicken today. Very good though. I enjoyed them. They only had 2 up there, so I was only able to get 2 on this plate. But also had some sweet and sour chicken, some vegetable fried rice that you can see right there, plain as a day. Couple of egg rolls. Can't forget the egg rolls now. I love those. So I got me 2 of them. Didn't get no wontons this time. I should have, but I didn't think about it. So I finished off that plate of everything. That's the last of the lemon chicken there on that first plate. Just to show you how serious I am about this whole calorie thing and what kind of faith I have in it. I didn't just settle for this one plate. I actually had to go back and get me a whole second plate. So there you go. I got basically the same sort of things that I had on the first plate, maybe a few less items this time around. Even though it looks like a lot, they're just kind of piled up on top of each other. But thing of it was is I wasn't able to eat quite all of this one, and yeah, that was it. Alright, so after 2 plates full of Chinese food, and as you can see, I just couldn't finish that second plate, but I put a good hurting on it. I did put a good hurting on it. I was just full. I wasn't trying to eat to the point where I was Thanksgiving stuffed miserable full, but to the point where I got full and felt like I couldn't take another bite. So that's what I did. And it's an old weight loss trick that people use or have used for a long time. Fill up with some food like that, you know, in order to trick your body into thinking, you know, you're not doing anything drastic. Everything's okay. That's what I want my body to think. Everything's fine. It's okay. Everything's good. He fed us good, so we don't have to go into starvation mode completely, you know, and shut down to the point where weight loss will not occur as good as it has over the past few days. That is the point behind eating a good meal like this. It might have been a little extreme on my part. I probably didn't have to be quite that extreme, but hey, you know, I wanted to because it was fun. It was fun and I enjoyed it. It was great. I loved it. Loved everything about it. So I cut the calories drastically again tomorrow. Now that scale in the morning now, it might not show no weight loss. It might show a slight gain. It might show a standstill. I don't know what it's going to do. It is straight up 1 p.m. in the afternoon, so I'll not be eating nothing else between now and weigh-in time in the morning. There's going to be a lot of time pass by between now and weigh-in, I'm sure. Yeah, if I had to guess, maybe about 14, 15 hours. So, you know, it wouldn't be unheard of for at least a pound or so to be gone. Even after a meal like that, after, you know, the kind of calorie cycling I've been doing. any three of those scenarios could happen. I could have a slight gain, I could have a standstill, I could have a slight loss even. I've seen it before. Been surprised by it. But, yeah. My point is, you know, people all the time, they go on these diets, and then when they go off of them, they can't figure out why they have these stalls. Well, you might be back on your specific diet after you've failed, but even though you're low carbon, you still may be hitting the calorie needs to the point where your body's having standstills. Calories matter. I've always said it. People will tell you it don't, but there are some keto channels out there that do kind of admit it. I know the keto twins that do a lot of keto recipes say they have to watch calories in order to continue their weight loss success. So there's one at least I know about. Not sure about them carnivores, but I do see some carnivore channels out there that actually do have problems with standstills as well. There's a few out there that have been doing it a while. Some even maybe a year to a couple of years, and have stalls frequently, and have not lost all the weight that they are planning to lose. So happens on all diets. You got to reduce those calories. I think there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Practice a little bit of fasting, cut some calories. I think that's the only way, at least in my opinion. Tell me what you think down in the comments. All right, folks, that's all I have for this one. So until the next one, you folks have a good one.